Good morning, sunshine. Welcome to Morning Inspiration with Friends with our host, Miss Inspiration. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe as you sit back and listen. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. It is Wednesday. Sorry, I think I'm coming down with something. We're gonna rebuke that because Tanisha does not need to get sick. Okay, this is my busy season at work, so being sick is not what we need. But just need these curls. Look, I've been using my flexi rods, and yes, sorry. I'm just feeling it today. I'm feeling it. I don't feel good, but I look good. Oh my god. But it is morning inspiration with friends. I am Tanisha Shanae. Oh God, Miss Inspiration. I hope you guys feel great. Send positive energy here. I'm sending out amazing energy out there, minus any potential sick and colds or anything. We're not doing that. So while I am late, we're still in the 7 o'clock hour. We do this every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. ish CT time, Central Time. For those of you that are not in the United States, Central Time, or you can say look for the Chicago time. And that is where you would find me. But yeah, so let's talk about today's topic, right? You're not limited to the narrative that you were taught. And a lot of you, if you are new, I talk a lot about unlearning the narratives that we were taught, right? And this came up because speaking to someone, they were taught good things, right? All of us, we were all taught some good things. Now, we were kind of taught them in a way like this is the gospel, right? So if this is the gospel, then this is like set in stone. Nothing else matters. This is correct. And I want us to realize that that is not always necessarily true, right? So what's happening is that people are they feel safe in what is familiar, right? That's for a lot of people. I feel safe when I'm in a land of familiar, right? Because that's where you know the routines, you know how this works, you see the end result, but it can literally keep you stuck when it's a season for you to start moving beyond, right? You don't stay stuck, right? Because if you stay stuck, that means that you can't grow. You can't go to the beyond and to abundance when you stay in this safe place. So I want you to get away from clinging to what you know, right? Utilize it for a blueprint. And if you find that you are in a season where what you were taught does not apply, open yourself up to go out there, get out your comfort zone, connect with new people, learn new things, start to explore. Because a lot of things that I'm also realizing with some people is that think about like hobbies. There are some people they only have these hobbies because that's all that they knew when they were growing up. They're good hobbies, but when they go into new environments, those hobbies might not be available. They might not be easily accessible. So now they're finding themselves feeling as though that this is not the place for them. It could be the right place for them, but because they're not connecting with the new environment, they're not looking and exploring. The people that look and explore, they start to see, hey, I've never known that I was interested in this, and this is something that I want to explore. You guys, if you're brand new, I moved from New York City, Brooklyn, New York to Tulsa, Oklahoma 2 years ago, right? And if you read Mel Robbins' book, she has a book called Let Them. There's a chapter about the new friends, new environments. And this is something that I think a lot of people, they don't do. People don't go out there and explore what's in that new environment, kind of get a taste and a feel for it so that they can see if this is actually something for them. The same thing is going on in people's careers. People only know what they have been doing, right? You have some people who they started as a cashier. They might have started as a cashier at McDonald's. They think to themselves, all I am is a cashier. So for the next 20 years, they're going from one cashier position to another. They're not even looking at supervisor. They're not trying to be anyone's manager. they're just staying because, oh, I'm good at being a cashier, so this is what I'm supposed to do. No, you have the ability to be a cashier, but there's other things that you can tap into. I was never an educator. I don't have a degree in education. I did not want to be a teacher for many reasons. And then when life started to smack me around and I needed more money, the only opportunity that I could get was a position as an adjunct professor. That is how I got into education. But and that happened, I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I got into education when McDonald's told me no. Okay. When I knew what the things that I was familiar with and the things that I knew that I could do told me no, it pushed me into this space of saying, well, let me try something brand freaking new. Right. It got me out of my comfort zone and it got me to be unstuck. Right. Because I had a financial crisis. I had a need. I needed more money. And the people that I was knocking on the doors for, the people that I was like, look, I know I can do these things, they said no to me. And I had to go into the world that I did not know. I didn't know anything about education. I didn't know about lesson plans and, doing a demo for a position. I didn't know about that, but I went into it. I tried it out. And guess what? 15 years later, I'm still in education in some capacity. I still love teaching. This is the reason why that although I did not feel well this morning, I said, I want to really go out there. I got to get online. I got to talk to my people because people need these messages. There are people right now on December 17th saying to themselves, oh, I'll get started in January. No, December 17th is the day you got to get started. Whatever it is that you need to start exploring, looking into programs, do whatever it is that you want to do, you got to start now. Even if it just means looking into it. Opening up a new tab on your phone, on your computer, and look into it because you are stuck. And you're stuck in your comfort zone, and your comfort zone right now in the season that you're in, it is not yielding the results that you need. So what are you going to do? What do you do? Right? You were taught one narrative, and that one narrative carries you for many seasons. But I'm here to tell you that's not the only option. That's not the only way. That's not your only starting point, right? And it does not have to be your destination. So I want you to really start to question these old beliefs about money, about careers, about success, about your identity, about your worth. I really want you to sit and reflect on that and start to assess what is it that I was taught that is not serving me in this season and the season beyond. Because when you get those types of answers and you get that kind of clarity, now you can start to see there are other options. There is another way for me to go. I don't have to stay here. And it doesn't have to remain the same. This is why you have so many people that go into new environments, they go into new territory, and they become a new person because they left behind everything. They said, you know what? I don't want to do what I was doing before in my old location in my new space. I want to try something new. This is why adult education, continuing ed, has become very popular in like the last 20, 30 years. Those are catering to the people who are like, look, I don't want to make a commitment to a 4-year degree, a master's degree, but let me go and explore this. Let me take a few classes, pay a little bit of money compared to going to get a whole degree, and let me try it out. When you try something out and you give it a solid chance, you will never know what the outcome is going to be. Your mind might be blown away. You might walk into a new opportunity that's going to pay you double for your trouble, and it's going to literally be less stress. So you have to allow yourself to start looking at new options and giving them a solid chance. Mel Robbins, like I said, in her book is called Let Go. She says, give it a 1 year. I'm going to say at least try 1 quarter. 3 months. Try it for 3 months before you say, man, I can't do this. Let me go back to doing what I used to do. Okay? Because whatever it is, whatever that thing is, I'm here to tell you, it worked before. It worked in previous seasons. But this new season, you got to bet on yourself and you got to try something new. Right? You get to define who you are, and you get to define who you are right now for this season. Your power begins when you stop repeating the same story and you literally say, let me get a pen and let me start to co-write this. If you have ever watched me before, you have heard me say, sometimes you have to be the co-author. God is the main author, but you need to be the co-author. So that means talking to God, getting instructions, and then once you get those instructions, you need to act on them. That's how you become a co-author. That is how you start to redefine who you are. This is how you start to rewrite your narrative. Like I said, the things that we learned in the past, they're not wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you what our parents and grandparents and what they instilled in us, they are not wrong. But right now, as we are entering 2026, it might not be for you right now. It might be something else that you got to tap into. You might have to start tapping into new things because you never know. That might be your true strength. You might really start realizing, wait, this is something that I really enjoy. Like I said, take it from me. I told myself from a little girl, I didn't want to be a teacher. And from a little girl, I've been told I was going to be a teacher. And then when I went on to college, they did all these assessments and freshman studies. And one of those assessments said I should be a teacher. And I was just looking at them people like, please leave me alone with this teacher business. And I was doing everything else. Went to corporate America, went to nonprofit. When I got into nonprofit, that's when life was starting to life and I wasn't making enough money. And that's when I had to make these hard decisions. And once I tried it, because you know what, my best friend challenged me. She was like, look, just try it out. Because I'm pretty sure she was tired of me complaining about not having enough money. Me not having enough money to go out with her because I couldn't afford to even pay my mortgage fully. Right. I was sometimes paying 90% of the mortgage because that's really all that I had with my paycheck, with my regular job. So when I stepped inside that classroom, I went in there with one mindset of we just need to make enough money so that we don't become homeless. But I found what I truly love to do. So that's why I say yours might not be education, but there is something that you do need to try, something that can open up opportunities for you and it can bring you joy. See, we have so many different options out here. We have things that we can do that we may not want to do. And then we have things that we're really passionate about, but if you do it, you're not going to yield any financial success. So you're still going to be in some kind of discourse. So we need to find you somewhere like right there in the middle that you enjoy, that you actually can do, and that you're going to have a little bit of enjoyment out of it. Like you're going to find peace because that's my ultimate goal for people. I want people to be able to find opportunities that they feel good doing. Right, that they might not be excited, right? They may not be walking around like, oh, it's just my favorite place in the world. It might not be that, but you're also not walking around saying, oh my gosh, I hate this place. I want you to find that nice, healthy medium. And is it possible? Absolutely. And can you make enough money so that you can survive for you and your children and your husband and your wife? Absolutely. There's possibilities, but it might be outside of your comfort zone. And if it's outside of your comfort zone, then this is time for you to take some chances and tap into it. Okay. So look into courses that you could possibly take. This is just so many different ways and avenues that you can do. But the moment that you allow yourself to explore beyond what you were taught, you unlock who you were always meant to be. And I truly believe that. So this might be the season for you to start to redefine yourself. Like I said, evaluate what you were taught, evaluate everything that you know, and start figuring out what about this is not right now feasible. And then you can move forward from there. So I am your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. You can always connect with me on social media. You can find me on Instagram, Tanisha Shanae, TikTok, Miss Inspiration 25. I'm always there. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Thank you for being here. Share this message with someone. Again, someone out there needs to know that they're limiting themselves based off of the narratives that they were taught, and it's time for them to let those narratives go. Okay, so I am excited. Tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow is a Throwback Thursday message. Well, you'll see me back here live on Friday, God willing, as long as I remain feeling better. But have an amazing day today on purpose, with purpose. And if you are in a space and you're trying to figure out what's the next moves and next steps for yourself, hit me up in my DMs, or you can go to any of my profiles have my links, and you can book a free discovery call and we can have a conversation to help you start to understand and make sense of all of these different things. But you deserve everything for you. And I want you to stop looking at the limitations and start seeing beyond the limitations. So that's what I do. That's what I help people to do. And I would love to help you on that journey as well, if that is something that you're ready to do. So again, I'm Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. This is Morning Inspiration with Friends. And we're here every Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Central Time. And I hope that you will join us again. Have an amazing day on purpose.
Wow, Tanisha, that was a powerful message. I hope everyone was blessed by today's message. Listen, if you are not tuned in, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Meet us for Morning Inspiration with Friends every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m.-ish CT time. See you next time, friend.